This question is asking, John opens a checking account with $1,275. He deposits $459, then $687 in his account. How much does he have in his account? Let's look at the beginning of this question. John opens a checking account with $1,275. So he started with that amount of money. The second sentence says he deposits $459 and then $687 in his account. So he added this amount and this amount to his account. But his account already has $1,275, so we're adding $459 to it plus $687. So now we're just going to add $459 and $687 to his $1,275 that he already put into his account. So starting from here, 5 plus 9 is going to give us 14. 14 plus 7 is going to give us 21. So we're going to put the 1 here and put the 2 up here. 2 plus 7 is going to give us 9. 9 plus 5 is going to give us 14. 14 plus 8 is going to give us 22. So I'm going to bring the 2 down here and bring the 2 up there. 2 plus 2 is going to give us 4. 4 plus 4 is going to give us 8. 8 plus 6 is going to give us 14. So I'm going to put the 4 here and put the 1 here. 1 plus 1 is going to give us 2. So now that we've added all these numbers together, 1,275, 459, 687, we're left with 2,421. 2,421 is the total amount that he has in his account. So this would be my final answer. This question is asking, if at the beginning of a trip your odometer reading was 67,856 miles, and at the end of the trip it was 71,304 miles, how many miles did you drive? So let's look at the beginning of this question. At the beginning of your trip, your odometer reading was 67,856 miles. So let's jot that down. So this is at the beginning of your trip, and at the very end of your trip, it was 71,304. How many miles did you drive? Well, if you started with this amount of miles and you ended up with this, we're going to subtract 67,856 from 71,304, and that should tell us how many miles we traveled. So now that we have it lined up, we're going to subtract 71,304 by 67,856. So let's get started. 4 subtracted by 6. So this 4 is going to borrow from this 10, from this 0, making this a 9, making this a 2, okay? And this becomes 14. Okay, because it borrowed from here, but there's nothing here, so it had to borrow from here. Hence why this is 2, this is 9, and this is 14. So 14 subtracted by 6 gives me 8. 9 subtracted by 5 gives me 4. 2 subtracted by 8, they can't be subtracted, so this 2 is going to borrow a 10 from here, making this 0 and making this 12. Okay? So 12 subtracted by 8 gives me 4. 0 subtracted by 7, this 0 is going to borrow a 10 from the next number over, making this a 6 and making this a 10. So this is going to be 10 subtracted by 7, which is going to give us 3. And then we have 6 subtracted by 6, which is going to give us 0, so I don't need to bring that down. So in the end, 71,304 subtracted by 67,856 would give us the final answer of 3,448 miles that you have traveled.